This is Ken. Ken has a diagnosis of dementia. He's a retired Commonwealth public servant and likes to read. He also likes to walk daily. Ken lives with his wife of 55 years. 3 years ago, Ken noticed that he was making mistakes when he was driving, and although he didn't like it, he decided to stop driving. Most people will need to give up driving at some stage. For many, this will be a traumatic experience. It represents the end of an era, perhaps going back 70 years or more.
What happened was that Robin and I talked about what had been going on, and we decided I was doing something crazy and we had to get to the bottom of it. So I stopped driving and we made a booking with our GP to check what it was.
Significantly, many people feel the loss of their licence will mean the end of their independence, but it need not be that way. However, it's important that every senior driver is aware of the signs which could indicate it's time to stop driving.
I was making sort of slightly irrational issues. For example, a few times I did a right-hand turn and drove into the wrong lane, so that I was driving this way and cars were coming straight at me. Not good. Another time I was going along what should have been straight ahead, and I found I was going off at 45 degrees heading for a big guttering. Again, it could have been a serious accident, only Robin shouted out to me and I turned the wheel. Two of the hardest parts would have been first driving myself to chess tournaments, which I've played in since I was a kid of about 12. Also, I found it very hard not being able to drive myself to the ocean and have a walk on the beach. Both cases, people volunteered to take me, but there are difficulties in both cases. The community transport provides medical appointments and shopping. We also used Meals on Wheels, as well as the physical support that I've mentioned. I think even more important is the psychological support. We joined in a seminar that was organised by Alzheimer's Australia, and both those two programs were invaluable, really. It took us out of our downer, more or less, out of the diagnosis, because you do get hit pretty hard with when you first hear that.
Responsibly giving up your driver's licence when it's time is one thing, but maintaining your independence is another.
Well, I would be very firm of the view that they should stop immediately. The perception and cognition problems can arise with very little warning and arise quite quickly. This could lead to a substantial accident.
It's important that your family and carers understand what options are available to those who give up driving, because this affects them too. This is Shirley. Shirley lives alone and is very active in the community, participating in a variety of seniors groups, as well as volunteering with some local community groups. Shirley used to care for her husband Frank, who had dementia. He became unsafe driving and was told to stop driving by a medical specialist. He did not understand why he should stop and continued to drive a few times after his licence was cancelled.
Alzheimer's Australia were great. I could ring them up at any time if I needed help, and the girls on the phone would say, what can we do for you, how can we help you, if you want to talk, tell us about it. And I also had a lady that came personally whenever I needed her, and she'd come home to me personally and talk to me about things.
For example, did you know these organisations are available? And you can also speak with your GP about applying for half-price taxi vouchers. A person without a licence can lead a completely mobile lifestyle. But first, the process of recognising the time has come, and that can be difficult.
We'd go out and he'd start just going very slow, and I'd say, "You're holding up traffic." He'd just ignore me. And then he'd put his foot down and go, "Speed." He would also, we'd go to see our grandchildren, which he was familiar with then, to know where to go, of course, but he went to go round the roundabout the wrong way, which he'd been, as I said, very familiar, going there always and knew that roundabout. Another time coming home on the highway, he really scared me. A truck overtook us. Now, with him being a truck driver, he said, "He's speeding. He has no right to pass me. I'm doing the right speed." And he stayed level with that truck. And I don't know how long we were level with that truck. It was a 100-mile zone, and he was doing 110, 115. He would not let that truck come over in front of us at all.
Shirley decided to call the aged care assessment team to have Frank reassessed, as she felt he wasn't the man she knew with driving anymore and was a danger to himself and others on the road. The aged care assessment team arranged for a specialist to do a reassessment.
He sat down with Frank, and Frank would get very high rate very quickly. And he's speaking, asking questions as they have to do with ACAT to find out where they are in their mind. He said, "But I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to have Frank's licence taken away from him." Community care options, we got onto them then. So they came out. They were great because they would ask Frank if he wanted to go for a drive, which he loved going out to the property where we used to live. So they'd take him for a drive out there. And they were also not there for Frank, but also for me if I needed to talk. I couldn't get him out. He wouldn't go out with me then, maybe to go and see the grandkids, but that was all. But they'd get him out for a drive out to the property, and then if he needed his haircut, they'd take him to get his haircut. They were really, really good that way.
These are some of the warning signs. Not stopping at roundabouts, ignoring stop signs, becoming confused and disoriented at roadworks, misjudging lane changes, or pulling out into traffic, driving too slow, pedal confusion. If you have experienced these issues more than once, it could be that you need to talk to your doctor or Alzheimer's Australia for your safety and the safety of others.
I just knew it was time to stop driving.
Giving up your licence will be difficult, but there's no need to give up on life. There is transport available to you. Reliable, cost-effective, convenient. Your driving will stop when you hand in your licence, but your life will not. Remember, there is life after licences.